in the cattle panel is watering this evening. We got a lot cleaned up.
Yeah, I cleaned up a lot of it yesterday. I took the fees down. They were clear up to here. Now that Ginger can spread its wings a little bit, they look pretty poor actually. And I harvested probably half the onions. I would have harvested more, but she got all these done getting chopped up and deep froze and all that stuff. She didn't really feel like doing anymore. So
yeah, that turned out to be a lot. I think 5 trays in the freezer. I think once I get them put into freezer bags, then maybe we'll finish out the row of onions.
But all in all, it's doing all right. The ginger, I wish the ginger was doing better. The only thing was the bad part about the ginger is after I put it in, I kept a row cover on it, but it got cold and actually froze most of it out. The tomatoes that I planted, the lettuce I just harvested it out yesterday too. I cleaned it all out. I need to weed it. But the tomatoes actually, they all froze and I had to replace them. The lettuce did really good in here.
Yeah.
With the tomatoes, and the spinach did really good in here. And the kale's still in here. I didn't take it out, and I don't know that I will.
It's still doing fabulous. I mean, it's growing right along with the tomatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. The only thing I water is the tomatoes in here. I don't water nothing else. If anything else wants it, it can get it. It can go for it. These couple here, I shouldn't even bother watering them because there's nothing.
There's one more in that corner.
I know it is. I'm getting it. The kale done snuffed it out as far as it's.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So I need to weed in here again. I weeded this bed yesterday. Well, I didn't get it all naturally. There's still a lot of weeds in here, but this bed here, all I did was cut the lettuce and spinach out.
And it made a big difference.
Yeah, now the weeds are coming through.
Yeah.
Before that, though, the weeds couldn't fit through her. They weren't there because they had no light. This here is our sunchoke bed, our Jerusalem artichoke bed. This fall, anybody wanting some Jerusalem artichokes, let us know, and we'll put you on the list when we harvest. We'll ship them to you or whatever. I can't remember what our price per pound was. If you get on our website, you can see what it was. They won't be open to order, but
we do have bulbs still available for planting.
For pickup only.
For pickup only, yeah.
Yeah, them I wouldn't ship, but we do have some bulbs. There's coming out in here. I dug this all up last year. I never planted none out here, and I cut them down 2 or 3 times already this year. This one's that's outside the box. Them things are taking over.
That is so thick.
That is thick.
It looks like its own hedge.
A lot of food in there, though. You know, there's a lot of food in there.
Yeah.
You could feed yourself for. If you harvested this for nobody but yourself, you could probably feed yourself for a month out of that bed right there.
I'd say longer than that.
They look at that growing right in between.
What is it?
It's one of them sticking out of the thing.
Oh my gosh! Like we need one more.
That was pretty neat. Yeah, so it's definitely taken off. They've been doing really good all forever, but this year here is insane. I don't even know how a dock would grow in there. I don't know how anything else could grow in there.
And we don't water it at all.
No, I've never ever watered this bed.
It gets whatever rain falls.
Whatever the good Lord gives us, that's all it gets. Down here, we have actually all these tomatoes, they came up on their own. I let them go. I put some good compost down from the last winter's chicken yard. Mulched them good. We got a couple loofahs and some winter squashes growing. Down here, some comfrey that I planted.
Comfrey there, comfrey over there.
One there, some over there. There's a bunch more in here that ain't come up yet. I planted, I can't remember how many I planted here to begin with, and only 4 come up. And then I harvested some from down below and planted in here, I don't know, last week one day. They're not coming up yet, but there's probably 20 in here total.
Oh, really? That many?
I would guess.
Okay.
Main reason I want them is to snuff out the light, keep these weeds from coming up in between the garden fence and the cattle panel here. But in with the squashes, these are winter squash. I don't know what kind they are, honestly. We got loofahs and a dill. And I shouldn't say always, but most times I put a dill in near my squash. An Amish family we know told us that it helps keep the cucumber beetles away, the squash beetles away. Does it help? I think it does, but it don't take care of it. And some tomatoes. That's all we have in here, and there's a lot of tomatoes. These, like I said, these tomatoes, they're just volunteers, but they can volunteer all they want.
Yeah.
This here is a volunteer sunflower that's doing amazing. There's actually one up there too that was growing really nice, but a deer or something got a hold of it and ate the top out of it.
Really?
Yeah. These tomatoes here is all volunteers. And I'm just going to let them grow. I mulched around them with some compost. Actually, something ate the top out of that too.
Oh my gosh.
The deer was in here eating the top out of the... Can't think of it now. It'll come to me eventually. Amaranth.
Amaranth.
These amaranths, we let them grow. These here came here because I fed some to the chickens last year, and they obviously didn't eat all the seeds. But they're good high in protein for the chickens. But I planted some squash down here with some dill. And then I don't know how many squashes I got around there. Some of these, I'd say probably half of these down on the bottom side zucchini. And I got dill beside all of them. And you can see they're not totally eat up, but there's definitely still some
bug damage
on them.
Yeah.
I would guess these tomatoes are all probably paste tomatoes, because what we canned we'd give to the chickens. And this year's starting to flower.
Oh, wow.
But they're all volunteers.
And look at all the amaranths.
All the amaranth's going crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But it can. The chickens will be back up here next winter anyway, so... Actually, this year's starting to get some flower on this one.
Already?
Yeah. I put some basil out around here, too. There's some more basil out in through this mess, but it's a weed fest. And then these are winter squashes. There was one there that totally gone. Bugs or something must eat it, cleared the ground.
Oh, wow.
You can see the stem, but... And that one there is almost gone, too, from the bugs.
You don't know what kind that was?
I don't know. I just put winter squash up here. I couldn't tell you what kind it was. We have more. I could replace them too pretty easy. Probably will too, actually. But there's even tomatoes growing inside there. Holy cow!
Oh my gosh! Jeez.
We won't harvest none of them tomatoes, but the amaranth will harvest.
Like 50 in there.
Oh yeah, at least. But a lot of this stuff will go to the wayside. Once that compost pile there is finished, then I'm going to take these 2 piles here and make a pile. We started, well, I shouldn't say we, she started giving some grass clippings from when she mowed the other day. She made a pile of them up there, so
yeah,
we'll mix these 2 up with that. So a lot of them amaranth and that stuff will take a trip whenever that happens. So this is our small garden. This year we have for the most part, we have our quick turnover crops, our greens, that kind of thing in this garden. The other garden we don't have as much quick turnover stuff in. And by quick turnover, I mean like spinach, lettuce, beets, radishes. This up here, of course, this ain't a quick turnover, but it's a green. This is cauliflower, and it's doing really good. We've never had cauliflower do this well for us, ever. But I think a lot of it's because of this right here. What this is just a piece of copper wire wrapped around a board, drove in the ground about that far, and like an antenna sticking up out. I've seen a lot of people do this, and they claim it works, and I honestly think it does.
I saw a big change.
There's still some bug damage on this. In fact, right there was a cabbage looper. I just lost it. But it's not near as much as it usually is. And the further away from this you get, the more bug damage you have. Like this one here is buggy.
Yeah, more buggy.
And you get right up next to it, and there's, look at that leaf. The one right next beside of it, there ain't nothing on it. I'm guessing it does work. Well, it helps. I shouldn't say it works.
Yeah.
But they're doing really good. We've never had cauliflower look that good before.
Well, I noticed when you first put them in, before you put them in, them white moths started coming around and was eating them alive.
Well, they don't. The white moths don't. They lay the eggs to them little green worms, and that's what eats them.
Okay. Well, then you put that in the copper wire, and it's like I see one moth once a day, and when it get near that, it like takes off and does not stick around.
No, it don't. Then the further away you get, like this one here, it's not even there anymore. It's gone. It's pretty well bug eaten to death. And you're that far away from it. I got another one there somewhere, but I ain't sure where it's at.
On down.
But some of this stuff here, like these here, last year we grew nasturtiums in here, and this self-seeded. That's actually really pretty. Anybody's ever grown these, them leaves are edible. They're actually quite delicious. There's another volunteer one right there.
Oh, jeez.
Over here we have our kale, and it does really good. We get compliments every week on how good our kale is at the farmer's market. Swiss chard, it's hit and miss. Some weeks we sell out, some weeks we don't. Kale we almost always sell out of, but this year I put a weed barrier down because last year when we had them down 3 or 4 rows down, the weeds kind of overtook the bed, and it was a pain in the butt to try to keep the weeds out of it. So I figured this year I ain't going to deal with that.
It made a big difference.
Oh, it made a big difference.
Yeah.
And these seem to be growing way better this year too. Of course, it's been cooler and wetter than it was last year too.
That's true.
This is our spinach. We've cropped it out probably, I want to say 4, probably 5 or 6 times. We already harvested this spinach. We may get another harvest. I got some in the greenhouse ready to go, but I don't know if these will make it or not. Yesterday morning I planted lettuce in here. Thursday I harvested the lettuce in this bed and cropped it out, put compost down, and planted new lettuce in. Yesterday morning I planted new lettuce in, and then it rained last evening, which it definitely looks really good.
Yeah.
The beets, we've been harvesting out of this bed for probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
At least. Yeah, you can tell I've been picking through.
Yeah, but we have two trays ready to go in, but I think they're going to end up down below. I just started 2 more. I just started 3 trays the other day that'll probably go back in this bed, or that lettuce bed. I ain't sure which.
But these beets are like, we've never had beets like this.
No, we never have.
I mean, they are big and beautiful, and it made a big difference starting them from seed.
We always started them from seed.
Well, I mean in seed trays, and then planting the plants instead of putting them.
Don't want that to happen.
Instead of just putting it out in seeds.
So down on this end, I'll take you down there and show you. Down on this end, I had two 128 cell trays of lettuce that I put out, and I didn't have enough. I needed to have 3, so I didn't have enough. But so I put in some Mexican sunflowers, some basil, some dill, and some zucchini. And I know it's too much in this area. There's 3 zucchinis in a 10-foot area, which is way too many. But it'll sort itself out. And these Mexican sunflowers, them things get probably that tall, and they get huge. But they're beautiful.
They're
they got
orange and beautiful.
Really, really pretty orange coat on them.
Yeah.
This is lettuce, as you can see. It'll get cropped out. I don't know if it'll get. We'll harvest it this week for Saturday's market. And we'll see how it does. We may get one more harvest out of it, but I got some more that's gonna be ready to go in here. It won't be ready to go in next week, but it'll be ready to go in the week after.
But it is so full. I mean, this is the best looking lettuce I think we've ever had.
And it's delicious
filled
too.
in.
This is just a mix from Johnny's, and I can't remember All-Star mix. Johnny's All-Star mix.
Is it All-Star?
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
I think. Yeah, and it's different colors. It's different texture. I mean, you got that's why they call it spring mix, because it's a mix, and it's just awesome.
Still got a really good flavor to it, nice and crispy.
Our customers keep coming back for more of it.
I know we're not going. I think we're going to be in trouble here in a couple weeks, but it is what it is. This is our first round of bush beans, green beans. The other day, yeah, they're definitely starting to.
Oh man.
It won't be long you'll have open flowers. We should be able to harvest off of these in about 3 weeks, maybe 4, I'm hoping. I just started more last Sunday down in the big garden. And these are tomatoes. As you can plainly see. It's not like I had to tell you. These are cherry tomatoes from here down. It's all cherry tomatoes. The ones with the bamboo stakes is Romas. And the ones down on the other end is they're like, I'm not sure, they're Rutgers and a hillbilly. Yeah, Rutgers and a hillbilly. 6 Rutgers and 1 hillbilly.
Look how beautiful they are.
They are.
Nice and green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Everything's so green up
The
there.
Romas we'll keep for ourselves. We'll make paste and whatnot, sauces out of them. These here we'll probably sell these. And the cherry tomatoes, they sell like hotcakes, so that's what they're definitely what they're going to go for. And then there's just pole beans. They're Kentucky Blue, I believe they are. Pole beans last year they're slow to come on. They're not like these are providers is what these are. These things here produce, I don't know, you can probably harvest off of these 3 or 4 times easy. Probably more than that, actually.
Yeah.
Those you can harvest off of maybe twice and they're done.
And they take forever.
But they do.
But then once they do, the main reason we started doing pole beans is because they're up here. You're picking beans, not bent over. It's hard on your back to bend over and pick beans and beets. More beets.
The 2 trays that I have ready, I'll probably end up putting in this bed. Maybe maybe Monday evening. We had this bed full, but half of them died for some reason. I don't know why. This half up here is looking really good. Then for whatever reason, that half died. But it is what it is. This here bed is starting to sprout. It's actually einkorn is what it is, which is a wheat. It's an ancient grain. It's pretty sporadic on its sprouting, but it is starting to come up. It is starting.
It looks like grass.
It does look like grass, but
it's in a nice row.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. 5 nice rows actually. But anyhow.
Oh, really? 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
This bed here's nothing in it, as you can see, but it's actually got our next crop of providers in it. Like I said, I planted these last Saturday. I've kept it watered pretty good. They should start sprouting, but I don't see no sprouts yet. But it is what it is. They should soon start coming up. Nothing but weeds down there. This bed here has cantaloupes, dills, marigolds, and there's a Mexican sunflower or 2 in here as well. And I did the same thing here. I put a weed blocker down so the weeds wouldn't come up through. And then down here, from right in here somewhere, down that way is watermelons. Well, looky there, would you? Oh, the wind must have blowed it. The wind must have blowed this up and that fell under it.
Huh.
But yeah, it's got marigolds, dill, Mexican sunflowers, and watermelon.
2 different kinds of watermelon?
2 different kinds of watermelon, 2 different kinds of cantaloupe. Yes. But I just put these in yesterday morning. So we'll see how they end up doing. We'll see. Hard to tell. Very, very hard to tell. This bed here has sweet corn in it. It's growing really good on that end. This end here is kind of sporadic for some stupid reason. I don't know what the deal is. And if my cedar was about half plugged up or what. But, or if a bird or something didn't come in there and eat all the seeds too, who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll have enough for us. I'm not really worried too much about.
Everybody has sweet corn.
Yeah,
so.
we just grow for us. We don't grow for everybody.
Yeah, last year we did how many rows of it? And
I did 6 rows of sweet corn, I think.
And we took to market.
We sold. We ate a bunch, sold a bunch, but it's not worth the space it takes to do that much.
Yeah.
The 2 rows in one bed's all we do. All we're going to have to do anymore. And these, I'm not sure, and I shouldn't be that dumb, but I am. I don't know. I can't remember what kind of peppers these are. I'm going to guess.
He doesn't put the tags in.
Well, I don't, but I'm going to guess that these are. I thought they were peppercini, but they're not growing down; they're growing up. I don't know. I guess they're wax peppers, maybe. I don't know.
We'll just have to try one later and see.
This is a peppercini here.
Yeah, it is.
These peppers are looking really good, though. Actually, they're doing quite well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess those are wax peppers. I didn't put a whole lot of wax peppers out, but I did put a few.
The Hungarian wax?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we didn't get the hot banana this year.
Well, it's the same difference.
Yeah.
It's the same exact
pepper.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah. Is that all that's in that bed?
It's all peppers. I'm not sure if I think there's problemos on the other end.
Okay.
This here's broccoli, and here's another one of these fancy gizmos, but this here to me proves my theory. This here the other day was blowed in underneath that. That's why it looks like it does. I'm guessing. But this, if you walk this way, no bugs, no bugs, no bugs, no bugs, no bugs, bugs.
Yep.
This here has a little bit of bug damage. More bugs.
A little bit of bugs. And then some bugs.
Nothing
and
down
look
there.
at
That one there, the first one away is a mess. Which that to me proves that works.
There it is.
And then nothing.
And then nothing.
Nothing. A little bit. Nothing. Bam.
And then
bam.
Kapow.
Yeah. And then that.
Yeah.
And then the next one's right there.
Right up in that row.
Yeah.
And them look pretty good.
Decent.
Good. And then.
Yeah. So this bed here has pole beans. Actually, they're starting to come up. Right there's one starting to sprout. There's one starting to come up.
Cool.
So these were put out last Sunday as well. Then yesterday I put a bunch of basil and a bunch of dill out and some marigolds.
On this side.
On this side, and cilantro down that side.
Now, is that for? Does that help with something, or you just put it in?
Just you got that much space, you might as well use it. Those grow vertical. These just grow straight up. They don't bush out, so why not?
Okay.
Here we have cucumbers. And there's a lot of cucumbers, and they look amazing, actually.
Yes, that's the best thing of cucumbers.
And right here's another one of them things.
Ah, okay.
I think I have one down that end as well. Knock on wood.
Do it again? I missed it. Okay.
No bug damage on the cucumbers yet. I put 50 pickling cucumbers out. We've grown cucumbers in the past here and there, but all in all, we've never had much luck growing cucumbers.
They get so ate up, and
they
the
do.
beetles. And
yeah. But we always get asked about them. Everybody asks, you got cucumbers, you got cucumbers, you got cucumbers. So this year, hopefully, we have cucumbers.
I love cucumbers.
And I got a bunch of dill in here. So hopefully between the dill and them
that wire,
electric wire, we'll get cucumbers.
I hope.
I mean, they're starting to flower, and they're actually forming.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
Some little cucumbers on them, and they're flowering up.
I love crunchy cucumbers, fresh out of the garden.
If I'm going to eat, I don't like cucumbers, but if I'm going to eat one raw, I want a pickling cucumber. I don't like the other kinds, the straight eights and that. I don't care for them. I guess I don't know. I don't know why them's pointing up. They're mixed together. I just mixed them. I just planted them. That's what I did. I just stuck them all in the ground. Some of them's wax, some of them's pepperoncinis. They're just mixed together. That's just how I do things. I need to go through here again. Yesterday morning, I went through and stood some of these up to get a hold of the trellis, but they're not quite big enough to wrap a hold of it. I need to go through here and do that again. And there's another one of them fancy gizmos. I'm going to put more of them out. Here's cayennes growing here. That I do know. This first batch is cayennes. Down here we got zucchinis.
Oh boy, look at that. Oh boy.
It's too small of a plant. I picked one off yesterday and threw it through the weeds because it's too small to produce.
I know, but just seeing it starting to grow.
Yeah, well, true.
There was 2 on it.
There's one on this one. So hopefully we get some zucchini soon.
And they look.
These look good actually.
And there's another wire.
Yeah, these are some of the best looking zucchinis we've grown in a while.
Yeah.
They usually get eat up by bugs. And then these are the jalapeno peppers on this side, and these I can't remember what kind they are. It don't really matter. We'll find out when they've grown and harvest them. I don't worry about the tags and that crap. I just worry about what the plate pepper is. You can tell when you pull it. So maybe I'm just weird. These sunflowers are actually volunteers. I didn't plant none of them. This here is Jimmy Red corn, which is a green corn. It'll grow. The other year we grew it 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. And I know it was at least 10, 12 feet tall. It was huge.
So it's at the bottom of the garden this year.
Yeah. This year it's at the bottom. It was at the bottom of the garden last year, or the other year.
True.
In that garden, not this garden. But these sunflowers are volunteers. We had their chickens in these bottom 3 beds for, I don't know, probably a month, maybe. And this here's growing pretty sporadic. So the other day I went and seeded it again, 2 more rows, and now it looks like all the old coming up. But maybe I just didn't have enough patience to let them grow. Now who knows what's going to end up, but it is what it is.
No patience? What?
And there's a volunteer tomato plant growing there too.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's this part of the garden. Most of the peppers look all right. Down on this end, they don't look real good, but all in all, they don't look.
Something about this end.
What's that?
Something about this end.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but something about this end. They're not growing real well. But for the most part, they don't look too bad. What I should do is go through and pick all the peppers off, and
so they bush
out a little bit more. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let them do their thing. These are actually starting to look better. I sprayed with fish emulsion. I don't know when it was. Probably Wednesday. No, it would have been Sunday when I put them seeds out. I did all the seeds and I did all the pepper plants. That's on Sunday last week. So today's Saturday. So yeah, almost a week ago. So the asparagus patch. I don't know if I made a video on me doing that or not, but I put a bunch of wood chips down. As you can see, it was getting so dang weedy, it was ridiculous. So I hope this asparagus, I started it from seed probably 3 years ago. This would be its third season. This would be its third season growing. So hopefully next year we could have got some down below that they're a little bigger stalks. We could have got some, but we didn't. So hopefully next year we can harvest a bunch out of here. And we got some plants up there. I'm going to put in some that's where they're missing at this fall. But this is our raspberry patch, which it's looking amazing. Actually, there's raspberries coming on. If we can beat the birds, we ought to get a fair many raspberries this year. Next year's harvest, which will be off these canes, will be next year's. And there's a lot of new canes coming on, so I'm very excited about that. And then I got bored the other day and thought, you know what? Why not? So I dug out the wood chips.
Dug a trench,
put in some pepper plants down this side, and then I put in a bunch of sunflower seeds. And they are starting to come up. Some of the sunflowers are. One there, a couple right there, so on and so forth down through there. There's sunflowers coming up, probably more than what should. And on this side, I did the same thing. The only difference is these sunflowers are seeds we saved, and these are seeds we bought from Homestead of America Conference last fall. And then I extended it a little bit and put in some artichokes. I planted several artichokes over here on this side.
They're looking really good.
Yeah, they are, for the most part.
Yeah.
And I put in some squash. I think these are all zucchinis that I put in here. Yeah.
All zucchinis?
I'm pretty sure these are all zucchinis. I don't think I put anything else in here but zucchini. There's a few. But there's a fair many seeds popping up, though. They're not all. I can't remember when I did this. I put some chives, too. I just forgot about that. But put a chive there and a chive there. I only put in 2 chives. That's kind of dumb.
I thought you put over there, too, but you didn't.
No.
Yeah, over here, my golly.
Yeah, there's a couple sunflowers in there. I should have spaced them a little better. I just sprinkled them out. Right there's a mess. You can almost harvest them as microgreens. Oh well.
Oh my gosh.
You'll have that in these big cities.
Yep.
Down here is coming along pretty well down here. We got a lot of blueberries on. We need to get the netting out and put on them because they're definitely starting to come on good. We got them mulched for the most part. I started putting wood chips on, but I didn't get it finished. And we got comfrey growing. Comfrey's growing really nice. Horseradish. This fall we should have some really nice horseradish. Some asparagus. Potatoes look great, except for right here where a dang deer come in and ate.
And over there.
Yeah, I know. I sprinkled some. Actually, I don't think it worked. That stuff I sprinkled.
Yeah, that wasn't there.
That wasn't like that yesterday.
No, that wasn't there.
No.
So it came back.
Yeah, it did. I sprinkled some, I don't know what the heck it's called, some deer repellent stuff all over down here. but it obviously didn't work. Hopefully
Well,
makes
it
them
rained
sick.
right after.
I know it did, but that stuff says on that carton it's good for however long.
Very true.
Got a peach tree. More asparagus.
Yep.
There's some oreganos. There's all kind of stuff growing up here, actually.
Mince.
Walking
onions.
Yeah. Look at the size of this horseradish.
Yeah.
That thing's massive. Massive. I got a couple of tomatoes down there too, and fair many lupines and whatnot. The garlic's looking good. That's about all we got growing on, actually.
That's a lot.
Yeah, true it is. Once them meat birds are moved, I'm going to tarp an area down below the garlic. Probably 50 by 30-ish plot, and I'll tarp it for a while, and then this fall I'll just put a cover crop in. Next spring I don't know what I'll plant in there, but I'll plant something in there in the fall, but we'll see. But that's going to wrap this video up. It's pretty long. Sorry for it being so long, but if you followed along the whole way through, thank you.